Hey guys, DanHeilman back with another Awaken Chaos Era video. Today I want to talk about some beginner arena teams that are going to be really useful to get fast medals. I made a video about this a while ago. We're just going to make an updated version. So Arena of Glory event started, I don't know, yesterday or something like that. You can see I haven't done much of it. And basically all you're going to need to do is you're going to do a lot of arena. You still get medals when you lose. So if you see down here, you still get points even if you lose, right? So if I'm in bronze, I'm going to get 20 points for losing, 30 for winning. So obviously one strategy is to go in here, take your, take these, use a shit ton of them, do the math, see how many you need. And then literally all you, oh, look at it. I forgot I have these little guys in here. Sorry, 1 second. And then, you can also just literally go in there and lose, go in there and lose, go in there and lose, and do that a million times. If you really say you're higher rank than you think you can push, that's a strategy, obviously. Not the best one and not what we're going to talk about in the video, but I just want you to know that that is a possibility. Okay, so now let's talk about heroes, which ones are going to be very good, especially in the beginner game. I'm going to talk about some great epics. Let's go to epic here and let's talk about them. Number one, a lot of people are going to have Nathalia. They're going to be in your very best gear for Ash Magisteria. If you're in that case, feel free to absolutely use Nathalia. Let's say you got Zatlux as a second DPS because you're using him for Queen of Tides. You have him geared and he's pretty solid. And let's say you got a Windex here and a Lunar Melissa. That's going to be team number one. Basic beginner team. Let me talk quickly about Windstrex and Lunar Melissa because these are great units for arena, especially when you're trying to do very quick battles. They're going to be very useful. Number one, Windstrex. She's going to be a great unit. Obviously, everyone knows her. Your basic goal is just to put her in speed sets, get her as fast as possible. You're going to want to focus on, sorry, we're going to go right here. You're going to want to focus on getting a very high focus, a very high speed, and some resistance. Those are going to be the main things you care about. After that, you're going to focus on health, defense, and let's talk about why. So first of all, you want her to go first. She's going to speed up and attack up on everyone. The reason you want focus on her is because the first person who goes in your arena team is going to use your spells, and your spells do require focus. So one great way to do it is just to find a focus amulet. Even if you have 50% focus, you're going to be better off than having none. So if you can get one focus amulet with a little bit of speed and a little bit of resistance, you're going to be really solid. And yeah, that's what you're looking at everything. Speed, resistance, focus. That's Windstrex. Okay. Another replacement for Windstrex as another buffer is going to be someone like Brand. We'll talk about him later. But number two is going to be Lunar Melissa. You want the same exact gear on Lunar Melissa. Same exact gear. You want her just a little bit slower than Windstrex. So same thing, speed. Again, you want focus, speed, resistance. Resistance is just going to help you when the enemy tries to stun you and stuff like that. The resistance is going to help against that. That's why we want resistance. Number one priority is going to be speed. Number two is going to be focus. Okay. Focus obviously going to be super important. For end game, you're going to want like well over 100% focus. For the beginner game, I mean, if you get like 50%, depends on what rank you're in. If you're in bronze or whatever, I mean, 50% is going to be fine. That's that. Now, if you don't have Lunar Melissa and you're really beginner game, you can run Windex with 3 damage dealers, and that'll get through a lot of the fights. Again, I wouldn't recommend doing tank teams for the event. I'd rather just take a loss, a fast loss, than be sitting in a battle for 10 minutes. So I would not recommend tank teams, and I'm not even going to talk about them in this video. We're going to focus on speed teams, okay? Damage dealers. If you're fighting against someone who has a lot of buffs, like Brand, you can use someone like Edicris. Or if you're fighting against, let's say, a Light Nick or a Dark Nick, they have that unkillable, which can be really annoying, and Edicris can help with that. If you have a stun set, again, it's kind of beginner game stuff, so you're probably not going to have a stun set, but if you do happen to have a stun set, Edicris is extremely strong in a stun set, and again, kind of the same thing. You want to build him high focus, you want to build him high speed, and you want to build him with some resistance. That's kind of a niche play, but just wanted to call him out because he is an epic, and we're talking about epics right now. Urzeg is going to be really good for tank meta stuff. He penetrates a lot of defense based on his attack. You need to build him extremely high attack. I just moved my gear to Gearinol, so I don't have it on him, but you want to build extremely high attack. You want like 5,000 attack. That's not quite a beginner build, but I just want to mention him because he is an epic. Another person that can be really good in here is someone like Celestial Kane. Can be usable. He brings the immunity on his team. I don't want to talk about him too much because he's just okay in my opinion. Virgil, though, is another person who can be really strong in here. I have mine in a stun set. You don't need him in a stun set. Again, if you want to build him and use him, you want high focus and high speed, and that's pretty much all you need for him. His big thing is he starts with this AoE and he silences everyone. This means they can only use their basic abilities. So this is kind of like using a taunt. If you don't have Lunar Melissa, you can use Virgil in place of Lunar Melissa. Those two are going to be really solid. You're probably going to want at least one of those. And then we'll talk about damage dealers as soon as I reconnect to the server. We're getting constant disconnects today. Hundreds and hundreds of disconnects. Okay, now as far as epic damage dealers, Vance is going to be really strong. I don't even have my Vance built at all. One of the units I've never built. He's going to be really strong as an epic unit. Who else down here? This new guy might have some purpose, but this is beginner game stuff, so he might be okay. Haven't tested him. That is what it is. Who else is going to be really good out of these epics? Let's go back to the top and see which ones I have built here. So I said Natalia, going to be great. Most people have her geared very well. Zatlux, going to be very good. Most people have him geared well, especially in the beginner game. If you want to use both of these, make sure your Natalia has a buff. First, she needs a buff. So if you can build her in a guard set to give her the shield, that counts. Or if you just have a buffer, obviously, if you have Windex, you won't need that because she's going to be AoE. So have the speed order would be Windex, Lunar Melissa, Nathalia, then Zatlux to clean up. That's going to be a great team to help you get through. That's a great beginner team, all epics. Now, let's ignore epics for a little bit, and we're going to go into legendaries. I guess let's talk about elites real quick. Who is going to be really good in arena for elites? Mary's going to be great. Mary cleanses. She puts immunity in her team. I don't have her built. I don't use her, but a very high amount of people are using her. Yeah, she removes one negative effect and grants them invincibility. She also grants a bonus turn with damage up. She's a great arena unit. Removes a negative effect from all team members at the start of the turn. Can only be triggered once every 3 rounds. Just a great unit. One of the best elites in the entire game. Yeah. Connor, you can use him as a buffer, kind of like Windex. He's going to be, I mean, your last choice. Charles is decent. He's able to taunt. So if you're playing on manual, I like to play on auto for these because I'd rather take a loss than sit there for 10 minutes, at least for the arena event specifically. And that's what we're basically focusing on here. But Charles is going to be really good because you can take people out of the game just by using this A1 and taunting people. So you just want him to be high focus and high defense and decent enough speed. Okay, so he's useful. He's kind of like a tank guy, but Zachary is going to be another elite that if you don't have any other damage dealers and he's level 60, he's going to do fine for you. He's going to do a lot of damage. If he gets a kill, he's going to attack again, etc. That's pretty much it for the elites. I mean, Joseph can be usable. Rodira can be usable as a healer, but they're kind of subpar. Some people use Evelyn, but yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Okay, now let's talk about legendaries. Obviously, this is a beginner game, but I still want to mention important legendaries in case you have pulled them. So let's talk about that. Brand is kind of a replacement for Windex. I'll use Brand. He's a better buffer. If I know I'm going to go before the enemy because let's say they don't have a Windstrax and my Brand's pretty fast and my Lunar Melissa is pretty fast, I'll use him. He gives me a cleanse, which Windex does not give me. He gives me the bigger versions of attack up and defense up. So that's always useful. I have mine in a stun set. Obviously, that's kind of more end game, being able to clear Gemini, but again, for him, you just want a lot of speed. You want a decent amount of focus. You want resistance, agility, etc. Him, you actually want high health because he puts a shield. So that's how you build Brand. He's going to be a great support in there. You can use Mai the Asia in your team, but again, we're talking speed teams. I would not use her. We're talking speed teams. Tashir is kind of a niche unit, and she has this thing that she gives plus speed per positive effect. This is really good against Windstreaks and stuff like that. You can counter her using Tashir because she'll boost everyone's speed, and she has some cool stuff, damage sharing and shields, and she can also remove all buffs and get crit damage and speed up for someone. So she is usable in there, and she's a good choice in there. Yolanda is going to be really strong in Arena. She is basically there for this ability right here where she grants a bonus turn, gives immunity and attack up. She's going to be extremely strong in here, and she also puts this guard thing on an enemy and kind of blocks them from dying. She also has this big shield, and it's based on how much health they have, etc. She's going to be really strong in here. Who else for support units? Evelyn First Song's usable. She's really rare. She's an LD unit. A lot of people won't have her, but if you have her, she can be usable. She's there to put the decreased defense and just give everyone a bonus turn. So she's going to be useful. As far as supports, that's going to be pretty much it. Did I talk about Florence? Florence is extremely strong. If you have her, you're definitely going to use Florence. She's going to be extremely strong because she gives increased damage taken to the entire enemy team and grants everyone in your team a bonus attack twice, which is pretty insane. Not to mention it heals. This heals also, and this removes stats. I can't click on because I'm disconnected yet again. I don't know what's going on today. The disconnects are insane. She also removes positive effects. She's going to be one of the best supports in the entire game if you do happen to have her. Okay, that's pretty much all the supports. Again, you're not going to really want to use healers like Blackhorn, etc. because we're trying to do speed teams here. We don't care about any of that. Let's talk about damage dealers. Now, #1 damage dealer in the game right now is Genal Giranol. She's going to be great. She penetrates all the enemy defense with this ability based on her attack. You can build her in an Avarice set or a full-on attack set like I have here. You want to focus for the highest attack as possible with 100% crit rate, and precision on top of it is going to be very useful. You can use Hydricia, actually. You can use her in a stun set like I have. You can use her in an Avarice set, and she's going to be decent. She just has AoE damage, and the more enemies she hits, she has a chance to do more AoE damage. If that's all you got for AoE damage dealer, she's going to work out for you. Valeria is going to be really strong. She's probably one of the strongest AoE damage dealers outside of Genal. She's going to be great. Does a lot of damage, big AoE, etc. Avera is kind of in the same boat. Now, you may want to swap back and forth depending on what color enemies you're going against. If you're going against a full blue team, then you're going to want to use Avera. If you're going against a full green team, you're going to want to use Valeria, etc. But I don't recommend changing gear because, again, we're trying to do this event as fast as humanly possible. Don't care about my win rate during this event. I'm just trying to get through it as fast as I can, so I'm using speed teams, okay? I'll show you some gameplay in a minute here. Let's just finish for callouts of really good units. Talked about that. Ciara actually can be a really solid unit. I kind of butchered a lot of my people here for gear, so let's try to put this back on. Boom. That's my Avarice set. Okay, perfect. And who did I ruin right here? Yep, I ruined her gear as well. I think it was that attack set. No, it was a speed set. No, this was an Avarice set. Okay, one sec. Sorry, I'll edit this out later. My Avarice set go right here. And this is Avarice set as well. I kind of ruined all my gear earlier, so let's try to fix that. Let's, yep, that's that. All right, so we got the Avarice set. Okay, that's that. All right, so let me finish what I'm talking about. Damage dealer. Ciara is going to be really good. You can build her extremely slow, high damage, and she basically doesn't even need a turn. As soon as an enemy goes below 50%, she nukes. Geralt's going to be extremely strong in Arena. He just is a beast. He gets so many bonus turns. You want him in a cursed set. Again, Ciara Avarice, Avera Avarice, Valeria Avarice, etc. Poisons and stuff aren't really going to work, so you can just ignore them. Cyrus is going to be a good damage dealer. High single target damage. You can put her in a cursed set or whatever, but she also has this immunity thing where She hits other targets, A, and then she also has this A2 that grants her ability immunity, which means she can't take damage during that time. So that's going to be really strong. She's going to be a decent damage dealer as well. You can use people like Tia, who can actually hit pretty hard, but also has a chance to freeze. Balberith is actually going to be really solid. He's really annoying when he dies. He resurrects and he has a block damage on him, and then if he kills, he resets again. He's going to be really annoying in there. You could use Opal if you had to. Lydia is going to be a solid. She's really for defense because of her dodge, and she's hard to kill, but you could use her as an attacker if that's all you got. Okay, that's pretty much all the units I think are going to be super useful in here. Comment below if I missed anyone, but let me just show you a couple fights now, and I'll kind of show you what I am using for my speed team. So again, I love having Windstrex. You can use Brand as well. Genal, Lunar Melissa, and Florence. As long as they don't have a Windstrex, usually I won't run her. So what I could do is I could put someone like Ciara in here. That's just going to help nuke everyone. This team is 2 red. So let's just try this. We're just going to throw it in there. We're going to hit auto. And if I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. Again, I'm not going to be manualing fights because I want to get through this event as fast as possible. I'm not a huge fan of these events. I just want to beat them literally as fast as I possibly can. So you can see here. I don't know why the sound's not on. Is the sound on? Oh, the sound is on. I just had my speakers turned down. So you can see everyone's taunted right off the bat, and that just gives me time to tee off on everyone. I get 1 to 2 turns to attack everyone. You can see Sierra Proctor AoE, and everyone is already pretty damaged, and my big damage dealer hasn't even gone yet. Now she comes in for the cleanup, and she's just going to eat everyone. Hackran's a blue boy, probably has a lot of agility as well, so that's why I didn't crit on him, but we're still just going to keep going. No big deal. See, Ciara also puts that increased damage taken, so I do have her before my Genal. You can go either way with it, and boom, that's it. Fairly quick. We're just going to keep ripping, and that's all I'm doing in here. I'm trying to just beat as fast as I can. Obviously, in the lower brackets, I think people are using mostly like speed type teams, but yeah, you can see if I have a Windex here, all I'm going to do for my Windex team is I'm going to swap out mine for another Windex just to hope that I beat their Windex, and that's that. Again, you want extremely speedy Windex for this to work, and that kind of just, you can see my Windex is faster. Even my Lunar Melissa was faster, so I didn't need Windex here, but you don't always know the speed of your enemy, so you're kind of just, you know, guessing, and that's that. I only have 1 damage dealer here, but that may be all you need. A lot of times I'll use, before I got Genal, I used Valeria mostly, but you can see that did totally fine. Was able to clear up everyone pretty quickly. I like this team because then I don't usually have to switch. I can usually just use this team against almost every single team in Arena, and if I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. So like, let's try this harder team. We're just going to keep this team in here, even though I probably didn't need Windex here. Just kind of overkill, but it is what it is, because then I don't have to keep swapping teams constantly. So I like to just leave this team in here and just see how far it goes. Just pick your team with your best gear, and you're just going to go in here and you're just going to rip these out, get your medals, and get the hell out of here.
Let's get this party started.
Again, this is my endgame team, but I'm also in endgame Arena. You know, if you're in bronze, you're not going to need this crazy team to go through and beat the enemies, right? Oh my god. Look at how hard that Lydia hit. Damn! Even dodged a stun spell. I didn't even know that was possible. This is an insane Lydia. Damn, she freaking one-shot my my Genal. But good thing my Genal had the block damage, so alright, we still ended up winning. That was insane. That was a hard-hitting Lydia. Very cool. Congrats to that guy for that super hard-hitting Lydia. I'm curious how that little girl's built. Alright, we'll show one last one, and then we'll get out of here. Let's show... What a weird team. We'll just show this team. This seems to be the hardest team here. They got no speed lead. I will pop out her, and I'll probably just put... What do they got? 2 green, 1 blue. We'll put Ciara in there just to help with that Lydia, and we'll put this boy on auto, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to focus Lydia on this one because I want my Ciara. All I did was click there because I want my Ciara to go for Lydia first because she's going to ult. And she's going to not be strong or whatever. And I have a feeling that Lydia's probably just going to dodge it anyway. So it might be stupid, but we'll see what happens here. Of course, they stunned my... Okay, well, we finished them off pretty quickly. All right, that worked out. So, all right, you guys get the basic idea. This is a total blender team. They use these comps a lot in lots of different games. Basically, speed booster, someone to taunt the enemy team, and then 1 or 2 damage dealers to go in and kill the whole team. Again, you just want to rip through this as fast as humanly possible. And yeah, I hope this was useful for some people. If it was, hit that like and sub button. Let me know below if I missed any really important units for Arena. But yeah, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like and sub button. Have a great day. All that good stuff. And I'll be back for another video, of course, tomorrow. So, all right, have a good day. See ya.